Priscilla Barrera with the Investing News Network, and here with me today is Brent Cook and Joe Mazumdar of Exploration Insights. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, so my first question is for you, Joe. It's about gold prices. We've seen gold prices start the year above the $1,300 mark. Do you expect gold prices to perform well in 2018?
Well, we hope so. But I think our thesis on gold is more so that if gold stays around these levels, there's not a lot of good assets that work at these price levels, and so we're sort of more focused on exploration. We'll continue to be focused on that. We have a few producers in gold, and if the gold starts spiking up, we'll look to get more producers, but right now we're more focused on the exploration stage in the gold sector.
All right, and Brent, yesterday you were part of a panel that was discussing whether a company is a big score or a big scam. What are some of the tips you can share with our audience when looking into companies?
Tips. Yes. Right, well, we've seen last year a number of junior mining companies that would release visuals on gold or core, that sort of thing, with not much data to back it up, and they just rocked. I think when you start seeing that, you want to be real careful as to make sure that there's context, geologic context given to those sorts of releases and news releases and that sort of thing. And one company in particular, they've done really well, but they've been not releasing all the drill holes. They haven't been releasing the data that we would need to provide any context to understand what's going on. So that's really the key. If a company wants your investment dollar, they should provide you with everything. If they don't, walk away.
All right. And Joe, you said you are focused on exploration companies.
Well, especially in the gold sector, yes.
All right. So let's say a new investor in the market is looking to invest in these kind of companies. What should they look for, and is it still a good time to invest in exploration companies?
It's always a good time as long as you pick the play at the right moment and where they are. So, you want to start off where your risk reward is favorable. So we all know exploration is risky, but you don't want to pay for a high market cap company just because of reputation or because it's being, let's say, pumped very hard. What we would prefer is somebody who's got a project that we think could work. They've got to drill it, they've got enough money to drill it, and the money they have right now will generate the catalyst for us to either buy more or sell it.
And what we try, by what he means by work, is what we're after is the same thing the majors are after, which is a large, high margin deposit. And we don't need to see everything drilled out. We want a system or a complex that's big enough to produce the result we want, which is a multi-million ounce deposit or a big porphyry copper. So the system has got to be right as well.
So we could get stocks, and we've seen stocks last year that have, let's say, a soil anomaly that's very impressive, and we could say, well, if you drill under that, you should hit something. But we're not interested because it just looks too small. It's like in the middle of nowhere, so infrastructurally you will need a decent sized deposit to make it economic, and we'll walk away. We won't buy it. But that doesn't mean to say the stock will still go up.
And Brent, I heard you say before that exploration has picked up from major companies, has picked up a bit. Is that something you expect to happen in 2018?
I think that's going to be bigger even in 2018 and 19, in that the majors of the previous years have cut their exploration budgets, they've cut their geologists, they've cut everything, but their reserves have not increased by and large. So right now what they're doing is looking more and more at investing in junior explorers that fit the criteria they're after, either by way of a placement or a joint venture. And we're going to see a lot more of that this year, I think. So it's kind of positive to watch who the majors are giving money to, because that's your first due diligence done. If a major gives money to a junior as a joint venture, someone with some technical expertise has been on the ground and said, this has the chance of producing what we want.
Right. And Joe, moving to base metals, are you optimistic on copper and zinc? Will they continue to outperform gold this year?
I don't know if they'll outperform gold. I mean, on an equity side or on a commodity side?
On both sides.
Well, it's a lot. But so in terms of gold, we'll stick to exploration, and we're less worried about the gold price. In fact, if the gold price stays where it is or goes lower, our thesis is even stronger, because the majors, like Brent said, will be even more desperate to fill their pipeline of high-margin projects. If the gold price goes up, maybe they back off. So in terms of copper and zinc, especially copper, I would say, is the long-term fundamentals look really good for me. And also if we include the idea of the electrical vehicle demand, which also might be something that'll pull a lot of copper, that's a good positive right now. But in terms of zinc, the near-term fundamentals are really good. And there's not a lot of zinc projects out there. A lot of projects are basically shutting down. So people are looking for zinc projects. So we're looking for projects that are in that near-term good resource going to a PA that we think can be taken out. That's our focus right now on zinc.
All right. And finally, my last question for you is if you can give us one stock pick for the year, each of you, or a favorite company.
Can I go first?
You go first.
We've had this out on Kitco, I think, and then we had 4, but I'd say if I had to pick one out of the 4, I'd still go with Evrim. Evrim Resources, Prospect Generator. They've got, a project that looks like it could be something that could supplement a mine for First Majestic Silver Ermitaño in Mexico, and they've got great JVs right now that they've organized with Antofagasta on porphyries in British Columbia, and they're also looking at more projects in Mexico on precious metal deposits there. So that would be my pick.
I'll go with Mirasol Resources. Again, I've worked with the president. I know him well. They've got in the order of $18 million in the bank. They've got joint ventures going in Argentina and Chile, and they've been turning up some virgin-type projects, high-level epithermal gold systems in the Andes that offer the potential of a major discovery that would interest a major. And I think this year might be the year they actually pull it off.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great. Thank you.
Once again, I'm Priscilla Barrera with the Investing News Network.